Before we get to your Memorial Day weekend forecast, we have to start with a new hurricane season forecast that came out today. NOAA issuing their annual Atlantic forecast, and unlike some of the other forecasts out there, they give a range for each of their categories here. So we'll start with named storms, 12 to 17. They go for that, of which of those 5 to 9 would become hurricanes, and potentially 1 to 4 of those would be major hurricanes. And we look at the Colorado State forecast, which came out last month, just about the same if you were to average these numbers out, pretty close there. And then looking at the 30-year averages, also very close there, slightly on the higher side of that. So they're going slightly above average for the season. Again, that's their initial forecast. They've been known to tweak those as new information comes about over the next month or so. And as we approach hurricane season, they are citing the factors of a potential El Nino influence and also warmer than average water temperatures. Something to keep an eye on, especially with this coastal low over the Carolinas gaining some strength over the coming days, trying to wrap up a little bit more and almost become maybe reminiscent of a tropical system. We've got high pressure in control here over New England, and that is really going to be dominating the weekend forecast and keeping this low south. But the Hurricane Center has, in fact, added this to an area to watch over the coming days. Very, very low chance of any kind of tropical development. Again, it's reminiscent, and it's got some factors that would warrant watching. But as you can see here, for the next 48 hours and then again the next week, it's only a 10% chance of development right now. High pressure to the north could play a factor in maybe even weakening it a little bit. It would be interesting if this high weren't here, because that low could come right on up the coast, really wash out our weekend as it's going to do for the southeast. But because of this situation that we have here, we call it a Rex block, where we've got the jet stream well north, big area of high pressure sits north of the cutoff low. This really can't go anywhere. It has no steering mechanism because, again, the jet stream's all the way up here. So what does it do? It just kind of meanders inland, and it really depends on where the high is, and the high's not going anywhere. So the low's not really going anywhere. It's going to try to push some clouds in, some high clouds, maybe Sunday into Monday. Not a huge deal. In fact, if you're going to be outside all day, maybe you'd like some high clouds out there to sort of weaken the strong sun a little bit. You have to be very sun smart this weekend. I have some reminders coming up here in a second. But again, looks like the furthest the rain gets, maybe Cape May, New Jersey, as we head into Monday. So put the umbrellas away, put the rain gear away. You're not going to need it this weekend. If you're traveling in the Northeast, you're not going to need it. You can see the closest that rain gets, again, around the Cape May area. And this is the next 7 days, folks. This isn't through the weekend. This is a whole week away from now. So we're not looking at any rain through the end of the month. Look at all the rain that this low is going to produce. Half a foot of rain in spots right along the Carolina coast. So again, some Memorial Day weekend reminders. Again, the weather's looking good. You might tend to forget some important things. You got to remember sun safety, very strong sun angle. Get that sunscreen on every day you're going to be outside. Make sure you stay hydrated. And you want to be wary of the water, and by water I mean ocean temperatures. Obviously you want to drink a lot of water, but the ocean temps are very cold, and you got to make sure that the lifeguards are on duty this weekend if you're going to be down there. Slightly cooler air temperatures for the beach. We should hit around 80 on Monday, and looking at a big warm up towards the end of next week, John.